What y'all planning on doing tonight? Oh, I don't know. Me and the wife thought we might settle in and subject ourselves to non-stop lying for a couple hours by political parasites and mainstream media morons.
Okay, guys, caucusing mayhem ensued last night. Of course, we could expect some kind of drama for the Dog and Pony Show, but I wanted to go over this right here because this clip right here demonstrates the inability and unwillingness to actually discuss the root of the problem and get off on a side issue. Check this out.
Close viewers watching in our last segment may have heard Bernie surrogate Nina Turner.
I don't know about you, but anytime I hear Brian Williams talk after his decades-long lie, actually I think it was 1 decade where he said that an RPG hit a helicopter he was flying in overseas. It's just, anytime I see him, I just think lying Brian Williams. It's ridiculous that this guy's still on TV.
Call Mayor Bloomberg an oligarch, to which our own Jason Johnson took exception. State Senator Turner from Ohio is still listening in Des Moines because she wanted a moment to respond. Nina?
Senator. Thank you so very much. You know, it's just ironic to me that somebody would defend the wealthiest people in this country over the working people of this country. We need...
Of whom Bernie is one. He is one of the wealthiest people in this country, and this guy right here is going to point that out.
Real campaign finance reform to the extent that a Mayor Bloomberg can totally finance his campaign. He doesn't have to go out to the people. He doesn't have to build a movement. He doesn't have to talk to people. He can buy his way. It is the same attitude that the elites, maybe Jason...
Yeah, never mind talking about that Bloomberg wants to foist red flag, unconstitutional, anti-Second Amendment orders onto the American people. Oh, wait. Bernie Sanders does too. So she's going to talk about how much money Bloomberg has as if that right there is the issue, and it's not.
Jason likes the word elite over oligarch, but it's the same attitude that the elites had in 1930 against FDR. All of them lined up against him, and he said, I welcome your hatred, because he was standing up for the people. And
No. FDR was standing up for the bankers, just like Bloomberg is standing up for the bankers, just like Bernie Sanders is standing up for the bankers, and every candidate is standing for the bankers. They're not standing against any Zionist international banking cartel, which is the premier #1 problem in this country.
And that is the same message that Senator Bernie Sanders has to the everyday people of this nation, that I welcome the hatred of the elites because I am standing up for you. So cry me a river for the wealthy people in this country.
Nina, you work for a candidate who's part of the 1%. I have no problem with criticizing the system. The system that allows Mike Bloomberg to make all the money that he makes, the system that allows him to buy what he wants to buy, the system that allows him to buy himself into the administration and buy himself into the debates is a problem. But to call him an oligarch, I think, is a misnomer in this environment. And again, you're working for somebody who's part of the 1%. Do you call him an oligarch? No, you don't.
You can't really assail that logic. Nina right here is trying to lay something on Bloomberg that she could just as easily lay on Bernie Sanders. And again, it's not how much Bernie Sanders has. It's not how much Bloomberg has. It's what they're trying to foist on the American people and what they're not talking about. They're not talking about the Zionist international banking cartel because they can't. The mainstream, fake stream, lame stream, CIA operated Operation Mockingbird media is in the back pocket of the Zionist international bankers. They won't talk about the root of the problem because they can't. They're being run by the bankers.
You say he's a rich guy because just because somebody has a tremendous amount of money doesn't mean that they're not necessarily representing the people. And if
that's true, you're not representing the people because you're not representing the people. Bloomberg is anti-Second Amendment. He's anti-First Amendment. He's anti-Fourth Amendment. All these people are for the drug wars. I know what you're going to say to me about Bernie. No, Bernie wants to get rid of the drug wars. He wants to get people out of it. No, Bernie's for the drug wars. He's not going to decriminalize marijuana, cocaine, heroin. He's not going to do any of that stuff. Why? Because he is a controller. He wants to be your government controller. He wants to be your ruler. No different than Mike Bloomberg wants to be your ruler. Buttigieg wants to be your ruler. They want the ring of power. They think they have a higher claim over your life and property than you. They're not talking about any of this stuff.
You want to use the term elite, you can use whatever kind of term that you want to use. But at the end of the day, the enemy of this country, the enemy of the poor, is not just everybody who happens to be rich. It is a capitalistic system that abuses people.
See, that's even wrong. Capitalism is not your enemy. Capitalism is free, voluntary trade between, for example, two parties, two consensual, willing parties entering into a voluntary transaction. I want your candy bar for $5. Oh, I want your $5 more than I want my candy bar. There you go. That right there is capitalism. What this guy should be saying is corporatism. Corporatism is corrupt capitalism. Corporatism is what runs people down. Corporatism cannot exist without government.
And if you want to speak about that, that's fine. But if you want to name call people, that's not going to help Bernie if he becomes a nominee, and he's going to need Mike Bloomberg's money.
I'm not name calling anywhere.
I'm not name calling. I'm just calling Bloomberg an oligarch.
You need Mike Bloomberg's money down the road.
It's ironic that you're defending somebody that is buying his way through the democracy. Yes, you are.
I know this
you are
works on
defending
Twitter
him
because that's how you guys operate. But when it comes to actual campaign politics, it makes sense to actually describe people for the positions that they have.
Is this about a word?
No, it's actually more accurate and more honest, more truthful, more according to logic, reason, and morality to judge somebody based on their conduct, not how much money they had. Now, if they accumulated their wealth by dishonest means, okay, we need to talk about that because that's a dishonest, immoral person. But when you get somebody into office that wants to foist unconstitutional laws on you right off the bat, they don't care about the American people. They care about two things: acquiring power and acquiring more wealth for themselves by reaching their hands deeper into your pockets.
Is this about a word, Jason? Is this about a word?
No, it's not just about a word. It's about the implications of it. And it's about criticizing the system versus criticizing individuals. Like I said, I wouldn't call Bernie Sanders an oligarch, and he happens to be part of the 1%. I would say he's somebody who's wealthy, but who's dedicated himself to trying to uplift people who are poor.
He just got there at the age of 78 years old.
He just got where? He just got to the point of an elitist. He just got to the point of an oligarch. They're not, neither of these people are being honest because they can't. They're on a network that is governed and controlled by the problem in this country, and that's the Zionist international banking cartel. The same is true for people who support Democrats, and the same is true for people who support Republicans. They're two wings of the same bird of prey, and we need to wake up and smell the coffee. If you guys enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give them a thumbs up, share them with everybody you know, and don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.